Hi guys, I wanted to do a couple of lectures for you, not too long, but to kind of summarize Module 2, the Internet of Everything and IoT. I added a couple of videos that are old, but they were really timely, and I think they do a good job of explaining how companies are using the Internet of Things and a kind of a practical example of how this works for a company. We're also going to talk a little bit about the cloud computing and emerging trends on big data analytics article. And then I'll do another video for the Wortman and the Che articles because those are a little more detail. First of all, the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything. This is something that has been enabled by the technology, the internet and cloud computing and software as a service that have enabled people to use advanced technologies that were potentially not something that they could have created within their own organization. So we're now leveraging technology that's built by, companies like Amazon and Microsoft and Salesforce and Google to bring into our company and use it to improve the core competency of our business. So, let's talk, first about Coca-Cola. Obviously, they're a soft drink, manufacturer. That's their core competency, creating drinks, refreshments that we love. The classic Coke flavor that's been around for probably 100 years. That is their core competency. Technology is something that, if you put all your money into research and development and technology around refreshments, you're going to have, a tougher time building up an IT organization because it's not where your core is. And I think what they've done is they've leveraged Salesforce to bring technology in order to improve their relationship with their consumers. So one of the things that they talk about is the fragmented nature of putting a cooler, with their Coke products into a business, and how you can only imagine, right? They have to get the cooler, they've got to figure out what to put in it, and probably all of these different refreshments have different divisions that need to coordinate. We need 2 rows of Coca-Cola and another one of Diet Coke and a couple of waters, and you've seen vending machines, they've got all kinds of stuff in them. So how do we coordinate that as a company and make sure the customer is getting what they want? And then how do we follow up? So obviously these things fail all the time and they need new refreshments in them. So we have to find a way to make sure that we're on top of all of that. So the customer gets what they're supposed to be, what they expect from our company, and that we get the most out of our products in these customer locations. So one of the things that I don't think they really talked about, and it might have been something that was developed later on, was Coca-Cola was able to use the Internet of Things to identify whenever products came out of the cooler. So, a Coke comes out, another Coke comes out, they can set thresholds that say, okay, when we lose maybe, 10 Cokes out of the machine, or 30 Cokes, or 20 waters, or whatever it is, a flag goes up and somebody shows up to replenish the machine. This allows the company to ensure they're getting the most money for the products, right? So you go up to the machine and they're out of Coke or Diet Coke or whatever, and okay, they don't get your $1.30 or whatever it costs now. This is a way to make sure that that inventory is always replenished. They talk a little bit about the Internet of Everything. It was a term that was coined by Cisco, and you can kind of understand why, right? Cisco is a networking company. They're all about building enhanced networks that not just connect, individuals at their desk to servers that might be in the building or someplace else, but they connect, divisions of people, and then, company divisions, to other divisions, and a way for communication to take place. So the Internet of Everything is just their way of saying, how do we connect everything to our consumers and get the right information to the right people at the right time so that they can make the best decision for their company. So it makes sense that Cisco would do that, right? Because they're the ones that are capable of providing that type of a service, right? In order to do that, you've got to have a really strong technology base of connectivity and networking that allows everybody to be able to communicate with one another. And a lot of times the Cisco stuff is stuff that we take for granted as end users, unless we're, wiring up our own homes. All of this goes on in the background in our company. And, especially when COVID happened, people had to, very quickly enable work from home, where now we're taking advantage of other types of network that maybe aren't like at Wayne State, in order to do certain things, we have to be on a VPN, which is taking advantage of other types of networking to provide security so that we can communicate back and forth with the Wayne State systems in a more secure way. And of course, companies are concerned about that as well, especially as people take computers home and start working from home on internet that maybe aren't that reliable. So Cisco is the one that can enable the Internet of Everything by connecting the Internet of Things and all the people in the organization that need to be connected. The other video was the video of the CIO of Philips that talked again about Salesforce coming into the enterprise. And the reason I chose these videos was not to advertise Salesforce, because obviously there's very old videos, and what they're talking about has been significantly enhanced and integrated. But it is really how one company envisioned the Internet of Things. So one of my favorites was the toothbrush, because if any of you have a Philips toothbrush, you know that it comes with an app that watches you brush your teeth and tells you whether or not you're brushing your teeth, effectively. So you're supposed to spend, 20 seconds on this section of your teeth, and it moves along on the app as you move the toothbrush through your mouth. The part of that they talk about in the video is that you can take that brushing data and submit it to your dentist. And the idea of creating, a healthcare kind of portal for an individual is all about the Internet of Everything, right? So now my primary care doctor and my dentist are all connected to help me live a healthier lifestyle. So I wanted you to have these examples because, a lot of these things are very ethereal when we think about them. They're sort of just out there, but how do we bring them together? And it's great that this module talks about software as a service in the cloud, because these are key technologies to helping us to enable things like the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything. Software as a service has enabled us to leverage the billions of dollars spent by these companies in research and development that we can now use on a pay-per-use basis. Cloud computing and its emerging trends on big data analytics, that article talks about this, the ability to use a lot of these services, but just for what we pay for. One of the important characteristics of software as a service is the ability to get rid of servers and hardware and software that sit on premise at a company that, many years ago, and for decades and decades, companies had to buy their own services and write their own applications and take care of all of those computers, whether technology was a core competency of the company or not. What software as a service has allowed us to do is to take a lot of generic functions, like accounting and customer relationship management and expense reporting, and put them into a place where we just have to pay to use the application. And we get all these neat, advances and updates that would have cost us a fortune to implement into a homegrown software system. And so software as a service has enabled us to put that capital that we would normally have had to put into an IT system and put it into something else, like the core competency of the company. One of the things that has been a kind of a criticism of software as a service is that, how do you set yourself apart as a company if you're using all the same applications that your competitor is using? Well, the answer is you set yourself apart from your competitors by being better at your core competency, not necessarily better at accounting, right? Not better at, putting together income statements or balance sheets. That's a standard function. And how can we say that an individual company like Coca-Cola or Philips would be better at developing an accounting system than Oracle, right? Or SAP. How can we say that our organization that maybe makes cars or toothbrushes is better at developing a customer relationship system than Salesforce or Microsoft? The software as a service systems that provide us with this technology that enable us to develop relationships with our customers are better kept at a technology company. We can leverage that technology on a pay-per-use basis and use it to improve our relationships with our consumers. So like Phillips was saying, they're trying to develop a one-to-one relationship, meaning I know exactly what's going on with this customer and I can provide them a service by leveraging the individuals and the divisions within my company that deliver the service that they need. So it's not about the technology that, puts all the data in and, connects all the data to the different people. It's about using the data to improve our relationships with our consumers. He refers to a one-to-one relationship, which is kind of an old-fashioned thing or something that you experience on a small, kind of local level. So for instance, if you go into Starbucks every day and you order the same coffee and you talk to the barista or the cashier or whatever, and she remembers or he remembers you, and they remember what your coffee drink is over time, right? So you walk in the door and the barista sees you and he starts putting your coffee drink together so that when you get to the counter, it's already ready, right? You're not going to wait another 15 minutes for your coffee. He's got it sitting out there and he says, "Hey, Dan," or "Hey, Sally, I've got your coffee ready. Thanks for coming in. Have a great day." And you develop that one-to-one relationship with someone. This is an important aspect of how we service our customers, and software is a big part of it, right? So if I can, like for instance, if I work at Nordstrom and I have all of your purchases on a point of sale system and you come in and you hand me your credit card or you tell me your name and I can bring up all your purchases on a point of sale and I see that you just bought this, pretty blue dress or these nice blue slacks, and I know that we happen to have like a really cool set of shoes that would go with this, I can say, "Hey, we've got this great set of shoes that just came in. Do you want to take a look at them? They'd go with the outfit that you bought last week." That is a one-to-one relationship that's enabled by the software on the point of sale. So I may not know you, I may not know anything about what you bought a month ago, but here it is on my computer, and I'm able to provide a more one-to-one relationship service to you. That's what technology is enabling. And cloud computing enables it more and more because the technology in the cloud computing is more and more advanced as the companies like Salesforce and Oracle and Microsoft enhance these services. You can use things like the Internet of Things. Like I remember, years ago presenting a technology for retail where they have like a loyalty card that is enabled when they walk through the door so that everybody around you can help you to better leverage the products that you've already purchased, especially if you're going into like a complex environment, maybe like Home Depot or Lowe's, where the tools are complicated and all you want is to be able to, hang a picture or put in a drawer or, fix something in your house. They can take what you already have and help you to find the tools that you need. So you go in and you need a new like drill bit or something. You can bring up the drill that you bought versus, something else and find, and the salesperson can help you find something that goes with what you already have versus having to buy a whole bunch of new things. So the whole idea of, the Internet of Things and the Internet of Everything is to be able to leverage the data about what you purchase from the company in order to help you buy more things from the company, because that's how the company gets a return on investment from their, technology investment. And that's what the whole circle is really about. Companies don't invest in technology for, just, for the good of humankind. They're investing in technology so they can make more money. They want to be able to service their customers better than their competition so that they come back to them. The experience that their customers have with them is better than the experience they have with their competitors. And technology helps to enable that. And by being able to leverage the research and development that, of billions of dollars really, that these software companies put into their products, you're getting a better product than you could develop yourself, on your own servers, at your own, in your own data center, etc. Especially when you're talking about big data analytics, and we'll talk about artificial intelligence more in the next module. These types of super advanced computing require an enormous amount of hardware and software to work. And, ordinary companies, especially small and medium-sized companies, can't afford that type of investment. So the ability to use cloud computing and software as a service enables them to leverage these sophisticated technologies to improve their business, to improve their relationships with their customers, in order to improve, the bottom line. So that return on investment gets better and better the more you're able to leverage this advanced technology. And software as a service and cloud computing allow them to do that. So it's been a kind of a life cycle that has developed over decades of computers improving, getting better and better, and technology getting cheaper and cheaper. Now we have, super advanced technologies on our cell phones that used to be in gigantic computers that cost millions of dollars. And now for sometimes just a few $100s, you can get all that technology now, in your hand. But what good would that technology be unless you had the apps, which are really a great example of software as a service? All the apps on your phone are an example of software as a service. And they enable us to make our life a little bit easier by doing things like, having Siri help us to remember that we have a dentist appointment tomorrow, or having Alexa play our favorite music, instead of having us, in the, millions of years ago. When I grew up, we had to put records on. So, the technology has advanced to improve our lives, to improve our businesses, by using technology that's available on a pay-per-use basis. So I'm hoping that's, a good synopsis of like basically the first half of our reading and videos. And we'll come back with a synopsis of Wortman and Che.